Hey, if you're watching the playback, hi, my name is Jess. Do you know me? If not, I am an astrologer, intuitive practitioner. That's literally what I say in all my videos. I've had to really learn to let you guys know those things. But other than that, I'm a 29-year-old girl, woman, actually, woman navigating through this crazy energy, like you and spiritually aligned, spiritually connected um, person, being. Hello, two viewers. What's up? What's up? Surprise! Did you think you would see me here? I'm here. Who are you guys? I can't even see my chats. Why can I see my chats? Excuse me. All messages. Okay. Someone say hi so I can know if my chats are working. Or put an emoji or do something because I need to know what is. Someone say something so I can see the chats because I don't know how to work this thing. Um, don't look at my chapped lips, okay? But let me make sure. Okay, show every message, including. No, we want to not have spam. Um. Oh, hi, Jane. Okay, great, perfect. We can see each other. Hey guys, what you guys doing in this fine Thursday night in my time? It is currently 9:57 p.m. I'm here to chit chat. If you guys have any questions, any astrology questions, any spirituality questions, we can talk about the energy. If you guys just have questions in general, this is a good time. I'm just gonna try it. I've been thinking about getting on live again. Can you see me? I've been thinking about getting back on live or try to do lives more. And I'm here, but it lives for me to answer questions. I want to help you, serve you in any way that I can. So, yeah, that I just finished my I hosted an interactive astrology show where I bring on people who are into astrology. I literally just finished probably like 20 minutes ago and it was so amazing and it was a lot of people who signed up. I had probably close to 100 people that signed up, but it was only for 10 people, so I had to like cut it off, which I actually am sad about because, but this okay. I'm gonna be doing them monthly, and they're free. I mean, you just have to be okay with like getting yourself filmed, and it's really fun. We were like talking astrology. We played games. It was just really great. A place that I have been like, it's fucking crazy. How if you are not like be the change that you want to create. That is a big, like, it's crazy to think that I had me was like longing to have more connections and talks with like-minded people, and I was like, you know what, I don't feel like I have a space for that. And also I'm not leaving my house. I probably could have found a space. Well, really, it just, I don't know, but I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm the type of person that's like, if I don't have it, I want to create it. And especially when it comes to community, I really have yeah, really realized that that is like something that's a part of my journey, like found my thing as far as like being a space holder in groups and bringing people together and all that stuff. I just find so much fulfillment in like two people who literally light up when they're talking about the things that they enjoy, when they've always just kind of kept this to themselves because they didn't have anybody in their space, their home, their friends to kind of like guide them. So, anyways, I'm just ranting about like how it's so beautiful to have people in your spaces that you could talk to about astrology, spirituality, all the things. And I just finished my hosting an astrology show where I brought people together to talk astrology and all the stuff like that. So it was so fun. But it was interesting because about 100 people signed up. I had to narrow it down to 10 people because I wanted it to be niche. And you know how many people showed up? I knew there was gonna be people who got cold feet, which is okay. It happens. I get it. I know. I expected it. But yeah, there was 4 people that showed up, and but it was perfect because those 4 people got more time to like get guidance and share and talk. So it was beautiful. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm just here to kind of like dip my toe back into live sessions. Sessions. Oh my gosh. See, this is how I don't even do lives, but I was just kind of like, you know what inspired me, to be honest? Let me tell you guys. Let me tell you a secret, okay? So, I may or may not have a little secret crush on somebody, this like guy who's like spiritual. Um, and yeah, he has been posting lives, and you guys know I've been on my transition stage, right? And every time he posts lives, he'll just kind of like talk and like answer questions and like talk his spiritual, like give the guy, you know, whatever. And I just like light up every time that he comes because he just like, I don't know, like his spirit, his energy, like is uplifting, and he always seems to go live at the right moment, at the right time. Anyways, so he just inspired me because I'm like, you know what, I want to be that like for others, you know, like as a woman and as a you guys who have been following me, I always, you know, I'm always back and forth for certain things, and I have done lives, but not as much, and yeah, I've been in my mind and working on myself and doing all that stuff, and now I'm ready to, in honor of this Venus in Leo energy. Every time something's in Leo, Aquariuses come out of their caves, or not even just Aquariuses, but everybody, all people come out of their caves per se, and to like come on to like explore. So yeah, I'm just here to kind of like see what's up, and see who's here. And see how many people, see what's going on, who's in the chat. But yeah, other than that, that's what I'm coming on here to kind of like talk about and share. Or not, no, I'm just here to like dip my toe back and just see. And I have a big bowl where I'm eating leftover salad as well. I also didn't tell anyone, like, I didn't make any notice that I was going to come back on either. So maybe I should have done that. Hi. I'm here answering cues. If you have a question, a comment, anything that you want me to talk about, a topic, just put it in the comments. I'm trying out a new style. I think I actually may read my journal entry today because I thought it was really special. So for the 3 people that's in here, I want to tell you guys a secret. I 30 days ago made a promise to myself that I would challenge myself to focus on giving myself for 30 days self-love and self-care. I called it the 30 days self-love, self-care challenge. Yeah, and that's like completely focusing on myself and like doing all the things. You want to start posting, but you find yourself stuck on what to post. Well, Emerald Dream, I literally didn't even think about it. I think the best thing for you is to just turn on the camera and start talking and see what like you talk about, what lights you up, you know? I don't think you should overthink it. I think you should just do it, and if you don't do it often, then that means that you don't have anyone to really disappoint, you know? Like who's gonna, you know, you're just starting out. So I think get used to it, build that muscle, and for you to build your muscle, it's just like going to the gym. You can't build your muscle while you're just sitting there thinking about like, okay, I want to go to the gym, what workout. So just start. Just turn on the camera, start talking, and see what like lights you up. Where do your thoughts go? It's gonna be uncomfortable, probably if you don't do it often, but yeah, don't sit in the stuckness. When you're stuck, you need to move the energy, And to move, you gotta literally, like, okay, turn on the camera and start. Yes, of course, Emerald Dream. Yeah, I feel that, honestly. I get in that stuck energy a lot, but I have, then when I get into it, it's honestly in alignment. We have like Virgo energy happening, and Virgo's very like in their mind and over, kind of can be over analytical and focused on perfectionism, kind of like, okay, what do I, that kind of thing. And it's called an analysis paralysis, when you're just like in your head trying to analyze, but then you're not achieving anything. It actually worsens everything, because then you like think yourself out of it. Trust me, been there, done that. Every day, actually. Every day I have to like be intentional about not doing that. So I try not to really overthink. Honestly, meditating helps. Like, I've been starting my days off with this self-care 30 days of that. I've been starting my days off with sitting in silence. If you don't know, this is something I do. I don't really call it meditation per se. I just think it's like sitting in silence, and that's where you kind of tap into like your inner guidance, or like what you need. Your ideas are able to come. And if you do it like when you first wake up, that's when you're not influenced. Hopefully you don't look at your phone as soon as you wake up. I wouldn't advise for you to do that. Literally, don't look at your phone. Wake up, go sit down into your space. I don't know if you have a space, but I have like a somewhere outside of my room, or sometimes it's in my room, but I'm in the process of like, I'm in a shift right now, so I go to a space where it's quiet, and then I put 15 to 20 minutes right now, but I started off with putting a 5-minute timer on, and then I'll just like sit and with my eyes closed, and then I will see like what comes, and then or what feelings, or sometimes I'll even ask a question. I'm like, okay, what do I need to focus on today? And then you just sit, and then you see what like ideas, and they would come in the form of an idea, like a thought or something like that sometimes. And then you just write it down. That's a practice, and sometimes like if you're not like, that's called connecting to your intuition, or connecting to higher power, and some sort, or whatever you believe. But anyways, the point is, if you sit with yourself when you first wake up, when your mind is clear and you don't have any influence on the outside, then you're able to receive what you need to do, what you need to focus on, what video you need to, whatever, and then you can just write it down. And for me, if I just write it down, then I have no excuse to not do it. I can't even be in analysis paralysis because I wrote it down. So I'm like, all right, then I have to like commit to that every day. So that's been a little bit of something that I've been doing to kind of help, and that's how I've been like slowly getting back into the public eye of social media. Yeah, that's that. That's my rant. So, speaking of my rant, I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna read if you have any more questions, comment them, or anything you want me to talk about. But in the meantime, I'm going to read you my journal entry from today, because I think it's very, it may be helpful for some people. Okay, so August 28th, 2025. By the way, this is like I said, I've been for 30 days on this. I'm going to focus on self-love and self-care, and that. So this is the last day of that, okay? So I said, in my meditation, I cried. Cleansing happy tears. Tears of a girl who opens her heart again from the choice of forgiveness. Forgiveness is freedom. Freedom from inner suffering due to holding on to anger, resentment, and attachments. Carrying all that came at a cost to my health, my daily performance, my karma. I became the exact person, I became the exact person I judged. It was, or I guess maybe like also resentful of. It was blocking my healing, holding me back from being fully present throughout my days, because my mind would be controlled by that anger within, and my thoughts would veer off, and I couldn't focus on the things that I needed to focus on. And that's what happens when you're holding anger in you, or resentment, or the past. you're not able to be fully present and focus on like your day-to-day tasks, and then you're not performing well, your best. So yes, I said it was blocking my healing, holding me back from being fully present in my new life slash story, keeping me bound to my past. If I would have stayed to myself or around other people who are also holding on to anger, resentment, all those feelings, I would have never realized this as in the having the choice of forgiveness. Because I've been going to this, it's so random, but this Buddhist monastery. I actually got called to do that through astrology. That's why astrology is amazing, because like, and I've been like, also it's a kind of something I haven't shared, but I naturally focus on Western astrology, but I have started to really explore Vedic. I felt called to explore Vedic, and Vedic astrology is more spiritually in tune, I guess, more connected. So I've actually been trying to combine the two, and it's been like crazy. So yeah, I got caught to really go to spaces like that. That's actually good for me. And so yeah, I looked up like a Buddhist monastery near me, and I found one, and it's been life changing, like truly life changing. The first time I went there, and I sat in the front because I am that person, that student that will sit in the front, and I was like, and it was the monk, that I believe that's the correct term. And it was like crazy because like when he comes in, you have to like bow, and it's like really immersive, and it was such wow, just like I felt like home. I don't know, when you may have like past lives, I felt like, even though I couldn't really understand some of the language, I was able to like really, I felt really connected. But anyways, I started crying my eyes out because he shared the message, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I was like snot, and I was trying to get myself together, and I was like, thank you, God. I believe in God, so I say God for sending me here, because this is my space. And then the people around me, like seeing the community and other people who's also there. We're all there because we are trying to really work on our inner selves, and really like just I don't know, just being around people like that, it's just so, there's no words, honestly. There's no words. So anyways, I went there a couple of days ago, and the topic was forgiveness. And I was like, really funny that this comes around a couple of days before the end of my 30 days of self-love and self-care. And as I've been healing and navigating, all the transitions. And I was like, and I kept seeing like 555, which is all about change. And so I was like, what's happening? What's going on, whatever. And so when the forgiveness came, and I realized like, I didn't even know that I was holding on to anger and resentment. Honestly, I thought I was like, I didn't know that until he started explaining it, and I was like, oh shoot. And that can really block you from like really fully moving forward. And I'm like, no wonder, I'll be like trying to do something, and then the thought will come, or past stuff will come, and then I will like completely like throw me off of my focus, and I'll get frustrated that I'm more in my head. No wonder certain other things, like it's just interesting. So anyways, I learned that. So anyways, that's kind of the basis of what I meant, like being around people, like, because the people that decided to come there, they knew the thing was about forgiveness. And it was just refreshing to be around people who are wanting like to let that go, to like, and that's hard. That's tough shit. Like if anything, or anybody, you've had any experience where you got hurt or pain, it is literally so hard to forgive yourself and forgive anything, anybody, any whatever experiences. I really commend people. It takes like for that actually choose to do that, because it's easier to not do that. It's easier to just like not forgive. So anyways, okay, ranting. So going back, I said if I would have stayed to myself or around other people who are too holding on to like the anger, resentment, negative thoughts, feelings, attached, blah, 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 I would have never realized this. And I said, well, that's not Oh no, then I said, well, that's not, what did I say? Oh, then I said, well, that's not true. I had realized the importance of forgiveness, because I did a while ago, a while back ago. But I said it would have just been harder for me, which it was, to get out of that energy when I was like around the opposite of that energy. So I said it took being in a community space environment of people who wanted to free themselves from their inner suffering too, who want to be lovers instead of fighters, who want to feel the inner peace, joy, and freedom to be themselves and to be fully embraced and accepted with their true authentic selves. And then I said, AKA like-minded community. And I said, we can't do it alone and we don't have to. Free yourselves. And that just felt very aligned with this energy, as I kind of like mentioned in the live astrology show, that a big theme is people really accepting and really feeling an urge to find their people who they can be truly themselves around, they can be their most authentic selves. It's like one part of people who are like exploring and breaking out, those are people who are most likely on some sort of spiritual journey or spiritually connected. They are realizing the people, the spaces where they couldn't be their true selves, and they're really like choosing that and seeking that, or maybe yearning for it and maybe wanting it, but then having to navigate through the discomfort of putting themselves out there, because that's what you have to do. Imagine if I never even decided to go to this Buddhist monastery that I've never even been to before, you know? And that was nerve-wracking. But I really knew that it was important for me. And like, look, I learned freaking something that's so life-changing. Oh yes, I will be doing this on the replay for sure. I would be reposting this. But yeah, so we have one of those people on the who's seeking to be them, find people where they can be their true authentic selves. And then we have another end of the people, which is the release, and that's what we're going to be experiencing next month more so. I mean, we are feeling the energy, but in astrology we call it North Node and South Node, the transiting of that. Yes, the topic of forgiveness is so important. It's not easy. It really takes that. It takes that. A lot of that. A lot of like, there's a whole thing. Don't even give me. I can talk more about it if you want, but on the other end, we're on the polarities of authenticity versus performance. On one end, there's people who wanting to free themselves so they can be who they truly are and find their community. Then on the other end, we have people navigating through having to let go of needing to perform to be liked. And when I say perform, it means like being something outside of yourself. Like, is this good enough? Or when I do this, do you like me? Or when I do like this, do you like that? That is performance. And that is not true. Like, that's not true. It's not. And if you're in like environments where you feel like you have to put on or be like this or perform like this, that is not, people are realizing that those are not authentic connections. They're not sustainable. There are, they're not free. So there's a lot of people, especially people who are more like wanting to like really work on themselves and really face that and let that go. But it comes with the cost, guys. And the cost is that once you become it's worth the cost, but once you become or start to explore that authentic part of yourself, you're struggling to forgive some people in my life and stop looping in my mind. Yes, the loop is the heart. The loop shows that you're still in that energy, which is totally fine. I would say, okay, All right, let me just pause what I was going to say. Let me talk about this forgiveness a little bit to kind of give you guys an example of what I learned. So I learned that we all are suffering in some kind of way. We all are dealing with some sort of internal suffering in some sort. Okay, we've come into this lifetime, in my knowledge, of like to learn. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. If we don't encounter situations that force us to grow, or people, then what are we living, like what are we doing? Then we're never growing, you know? So it's like you have to look at those people, no matter what the situation is, as like your teachers. They're there to help you discover whatever it is that you couldn't see internally, and now through that interaction that triggered you, something uplifts the thing. For me, it was like, oh, I was struggling with self-worth. Like, I didn't have value for myself. Like, I put other people before me, and I thought it was because I was being nice and I was a caring and loving person, but it's because I didn't value myself enough to give me that. So I didn't learn that until I was in a situation, in a that where it took a person for me to trigger that in me through a very sad and unfortunate, like, experiences. But through that, I was able to see that, damn, like, I have self-worth, self-value issues. And that's why I always like I put myself back, because I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I'm worthy of like focusing on myself first. I want to, I care about everybody else. So anyway, so that I want you to think about, like, whoever that person is that you're needing to forgive, what is it that they release for you to figure out about yourself? And because they were a teacher, that's one thing. The second thing is, and that's going to help you on your journey, because once you actually work on that, then you're a better person that elevates you, and then that's great. The second thing is, once again, going back to the inner suffering, everybody's suffering through something in some sort of way, and the call or the result of the suffering or whatever, there's when the anger and the resentment comes. And some people express that like in different ways. Some people like are, when they angry or when they have that comes up, they lash out, they hurt others, or whether they're doing it consciously or subconsciously. A lot of people don't even realize that they're doing that. So we have to realize that a lot of people get mad at the person, but how did the monk describe it? He said, we are choosing the wrong targets. The target isn't the people. The target is the anger and the resentment that caused them to act. And if we can look at it like that and know that without the anger and the resentment and that stuff that caused the action that hurt us, they're just people like us. And it's almost like if you think of somebody who's under the influence, and when they're under the influence of something, they do something, but we know, oh, they were just drunk or they were under their influence. That's why. So we see the A, so kind of think of it like that with the anger person. It's like, oh, they're just under the influence of that anger, that suffering, that internal stuff, and that was just their reaction of that, So it's not something we should accept, but we can forgive the person, to have compassionate, because we're not forgiving for them, we're forgiving to free ourselves, because it's actually like, if we're holding on to it, it's damaging us, because then we're not able to focus, we're not able to move forward, we're not able to do all these things. So that's a very Emerald, it's definitely, yes, choosing the wrong target. That's it. Yeah, when he said it like that, I was like, well, damn. Like, I was like, wow. Like, and so ever since then, honestly, like, I've been very intentional about like the forgiveness thing, and really, like he said, you should really implement it into your meditations if you meditate every morning, and just when you feel any of the anger within you coming up, or whatever, or the feelings or the emotions or the thoughts come up, you just, Imagine you're breathing, you're just, or don't imagine, breathe in, but then when you breathe out, imagine you breathing out like like black smog, like smoke that's filled with this like what ain't like the past stuff. And imagine yourself like breathing it out. Like that, and even you can even say like I'm saying like I forgive, I release, I have compassion, I have love, like it does take like you to be very intentional. It's not an overnight thing per se, especially if you're not like used to that. So, or if the experience you had was really tough. So yeah, and once again, we're not just because you forgive, you don't accept the thing. You obviously still stand up for yourself, but you don't hold that anger in you because that anger is poison. And yeah, that I have to go pee really quick, so let me go do that. I know it's random, but this is a part of my self-care because a lot of physical things have come up ever since the transition, which happens with people. Like if you hold a lot of stuff in your body, then you start to have like body issues, and that was in my bladder. So 1 sec. Okay. But yeah, so wait, I was sweating a little bit. That happens. I never used to be a sweater, and now I sweat, and I'm like, what the freak? This what comes with age or something? uh, anyways, but yeah, so just have compassion with yourself on the journey to forgiveness because once again, you're trying to get yourself out of the energy, and but really please, if I could tell anybody anything that I learned, is do that. Please forgive yourself and whoever else, um so you don't carry that with you for the rest of your life, because anger destroys the body eventually. And if you get aren't seeing that, it comes up in different ways, like once again, yes, mind, the overthinking or mental loops. It can come off through mental health, and those are like, and then eventually as you get older, it can come up through like health issues, and that's where people like it. That anger is a destroyer thing, and it's a slow burn sometimes of like how it damages your body. um I've been writing and burning a lot this summer. Good, 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 good. So yeah, you have the intention of releasing. So that's good. That's good. Just make sure you're not holding in your body. Like even right now, like I have to be conscious of like, but I'm only doing this right now because, well, sometimes even talking about it, like I'm having to detach myself even away from like feelings because I'm still on the releasing end of things. So I just have to be very intentional. It's a very like responsible thing to like really I don't know, even it's been hard for me to like come on camera because I'm like, okay, I want to share my like lessons, but like how do I do it with being intentional and knowing I'm not doing it in a coming from a negative or resentful place? Because that was another thing. That's where I kind of had to check the content that I was posting because like if you're not you want to share your story about things, looping still just looping still trying to find peace, but I'm still angry at certain things. But I think it's because I judge it instead of learning from it. Yes, you gotta let go of the judgment because you can't have judgment for something that, like, there's no, if you're gonna be a compassionate and loving, then you can't have the judgment. Remember, the target isn't the person or ourselves. It's the feeling. Is that anger? Is that you know? Um, so, and also if you want to learn your lessons of life, like, you have to like, yeah, it's an internal process for sure. Um, yeah, it's a process. But please just be intentional with it. I don't know what you do if you're a spiritual being, but prayer, talking to whatever higher power helps that you believe in. Um, just really even saying it, I forgive, like you speak it into existence, or help me please to release this like energy or these thoughts or this person or the whatever, like, continue to, you may need to do that, incorporate that into your daily practice, to be quite honest. And then once again, when you feel that anger or you have a thought, because that's what I'll be doing, I'll be like, okay, I forgive, I release, compassion, I have compassion and love. Like I have to really talk to myself. It's like you don't just say stuff. Like, you got to really be intentional, with it. So whatever aligns to you is like what you do. But being around community, finding community spaces that are people who are actually working on themselves too, and working through forgiveness and just certain things really, 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 really helps. So if you can look up like, I don't know, spiritual place, even a Buddhist monastery or around you or whatever. I don't know. People go to church for that. People have other communities and spaces, whatever that you can do, definitely. Yes, I think I need to ask. I always feel like I'm supposed to do this alone. Yes, but I'm definitely going to pray and seek help. Yes, you're hitting the themes. That is exactly. Let you know, Emerald, and everybody else who watches the playback. Yes, you're not supposed to do it alone. You don't have to. We think we do. But understand, and this is astrologically speaking, energetically speaking, you're in the process of releasing that I need to do it alone energy. We are now coming into the times where people who have been trying to do stuff alone are realizing that they know they move faster, they get to the healing faster, they learn quicker when they're in community, and they like, you just achieve happiness and joy easy, or quicker or better, through that, so people sharing their experiences, their wisdom, people who've already gone through that, and all of the stuff that you're dealing with. So yes, please definitely do that. I'm trying to create more spaces like that. That's where I hosted this interactive astrology live show. So I've been like, I do have my Patreon. That's like women's focus. That is for women. I host women's circles on the full moon and the new moon and blah, blah, blah. But I've been feeling called to open up and have spaces for men. And yeah, I definitely want to do more of that virtually, but and I do it in person too, but I'm in the Atlanta area, so I know not everybody's there. So I definitely just say like, look at spaces, do both if you will like, or just definitely you need that in person though. That's wherever you start somewhere in front of people, face to face. Like Like, this is cool, but I would love to even see your face, Emerald, and have a conversation with you. That's even deeper. So find that, get to those spaces. And yeah, the next thing that I wanted to like share is I don't know if I want to share that one. I'm trying to think. This is where I have to be discerning. Okay, I'll share this part. This may resonate with somebody at some point. Whoever watches the playback, but know that a lot of people are experiencing. I mean, you kind of go through this in life in general, but energetically, astrologically, people who are on a spiritual journey, and who have recently gone through some changes that literally feels like they got their whole like security, life support, everything stripped from them. Maybe sometimes all at once. I know I felt I had that like in July, like I literally like a lot of things ended for me, and at once, and I literally felt like, well, I mean, I'm connected with, like, I'm really in tune with, like, I say God. But once again, feeling your higher power, I have to be like, reiterate that. But so I always have faith, but I definitely felt like when that happened and I had to like move, and then when I was out of the energy that wasn't good for, like, that was affecting me, then like health stuff started coming up for me, like body stuff, and like so many other things started coming up. So I'm like, I remember literally like going on a walk and literally like talking to, I should have recorded it because it was that was just like, sometimes when I'm in the moment, I'm like, people will resonate with this, but I gotta be in the moment. But I was literally like talking out loud to God, because that's what I do. I just talk out loud. I advise it for everybody. You're not alone, by the way. You have like whoever you identify as a higher power. I believe in God. I say spirit guides, I say angels, ancestors, sometimes whatever, I group whatever, how I'm feeling at the moment. And then I'm like, okay, God, like, I've literally given up, or I like have went through all these experiences, right? I have literally chosen, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I have ate healthy, I'm like on a plant-based, like, I drink water, I don't drink soda, I drink tea, mostly water and tea. I eat fruits and I've been like, especially on this 30 days and ever since the transition, trying to really get my body back and in alignment. Have been doing yoga every day, have been working, and like certain like I was navigating through, like, I felt like I was progressing on my healing, like my body and everything. And then for whatever reason, like, my body started to have like pains again. And just know something that came up for me with my health stuff, and I think it's tied to like stored emotions, is that my body has become sensitive to salt. And I think, in my opinion, this may sound really wild and out there, I know, okay, but people who are spiritually connected or aligned, who will understand it. I'm not saying spiritually connected, but I mean like aligned, like more in tune. Sometimes when you have emotions stored in your body or trauma stored in your body, certain things can trigger it, okay? And I believe right now in my life, or my body is sensitive to salt, because I believe it identifies that salt as a trigger. So I have had to, and maybe I could be reaching, and maybe I just have been eating overly salty foods, but intuitively I feel that way. So I have to really eat like low sodium foods. And for whatever reason, I was doing good, and for whatever reason, it started to peak up again. Like, I started to have like when I was eating my food, I was having like really like these like discomforts on my left side specifically. Which, if we're talking in spiritual terms, your left side is your feminine energy. So that kind of relates, like, especially as I've been navigating through like the pain and stuff like that, and that connects to like my feminine side, like neglecting that side of me, because I'm very much more in my masculine energy. I don't know, people probably think because I'm like I look all girly and stuff, or that kind of thing, I'm more into my feminine side, but I've actually not been aligned with my feminine energy. And feminine energy is more like being open to receiving and to getting care and like expressing yourself emotionally. Like all that is not. I'm more of like the masculine is like the taking care of. I'm like the one that likes to take care of people, to be taken care, like to be like that. I'm not in that. I'm trying to get into that. Anyway, so that's been neglected, and sometimes health issues can come, especially stored emotions, because the feminine energy, when you're aligned to that, you're expressing, you're sharing, you're expressing your feelings. And for me, yeah. Anyways, so there's the whole thing. But anyways, it was I was having bodily flare-ups again, and I was like, what the heck? I was literally outside. I'm like, God, I've literally, like, I don't put any toxic stuff in my body. I haven't. I've chosen to deal with my emotions like so, like without the influence of anything, you know? And I'm like, please don't tell me like you're I don't want to say you're punishing me, but like after all of me choosing to go this healthy route and make the right decisions and not lean towards all the things that other people, and I don't judge, but like most people like lean to, like alcohol, drugs, all this stuff like that. Like, why am I experiencing like this when I chose to do it the right route, or quote unquote, the not unhealthy route? And I was just kind of like, I was just talking because I'm like, I shouldn't be experiencing bodily things. Like, I know my body's okay. Like, it shouldn't be any problems. I mean, besides my anxiety and me like storing like the stored, I know like the emotional, the spiritual, like that stuff. But yeah, I was just kind of upset. And then I got in the house and I was like, I'm about to make some food. And then what did I do? I didn't use any salt in the food. I think I was making some beans, and I didn't use any salt in the beans. I just used like onion powder, garlic powder, stuff like that. I taste the beans. They're salty. And I'm like, what the freak? This is salty. Like, I'm not supposed to be eating like that. And I'm like, where does this salt come from? I didn't even put any salt. And in fact, I put extra onion powder and garlic powder in there so it can really, because I'm like, okay, fine. You want me to eat bland food, so I'm just going to eat this bland food. I was just being extreme. But then randomly something like I just like looked over and looked at the label of my onion, which was supposed to be onion powder, and guess what it was? It wasn't powder. It was salt. Onion salt. What the F is that? Anyways, I didn't even know that there was a thing. I knew that like there's onion salt. So literally, guys, I've been mixing onion salt, thinking that's onion powder. You know, with powders, you usually put a lot in there. Then I use Himalayan sea salt. So it's funny, earlier that day, I was like praying, and I was like, why? Like I've been really trying to work on myself. Like, God, like, why are you like, why? You know? And then being directed and realizing I was using onion salt, I accidentally grabbed the wrong thing. And that's why my body was flaring up more. So there's a reason I said all that. I don't remember, but I just thought that was interesting. That was just interesting. These are like certain things this is where I say like you have to be aware, or like God, the universe, whatever you guys identify as, will show you like certain signs. And if you don't pay attention, you're probably just gonna be like, you're not even gonna like realize the connections or like the intent. Let's call it intent, because we don't want to, people really have a thing with the signs, but it's just like, pay attention. Pay attention to the things that happen in your life. Be present in the things that happen in your life. Literally, this morning, I got called, or for the past couple of days, I've been feeling like guided to like open the Bible, because I am like, when I tell you I'm like spiritual, I use everything. I'm pretty sure I told you guys this earlier. So sometimes, like today, I literally took a picture. I had a Buddhist statue. I had crystals in my yoga mat. I had a journal, astrology journal. I had a singing bowl. I had the Bible. Because I just go where my heart guides me, and I don't like to choose one or be fit into this box. I'm an Aquarius, true. Of like, I just like to take from all of the places and gather what aligns to me. Fucking create my own fucking religion. It's called the Jess religion. That's for me. but yeah, so I just rant, but with the Bible, I don't use it often. This is kind of like when I feel called to, because I think all these things that we use are tools, and you just have to figure out what aligns to you. The problem with people is they try to shove their tools down other people's throats when we're all different. You're supposed to find your own. Some people gravitate towards the Bible, some people gravitate towards church, some people gravitate towards crystals, all the things, astrology. Some people combine. Find what works for you, okay? And if you're around people who's telling you that you should do this or you should focus on that, then like that's not right. They're not letting you be authentic or yourself, you know? They're trying to force you into their like mindsets and beliefs and thoughts and blah blah blah. Which I think is inherently selfish, you know? And you have to just think about that. And now, once again, you don't blame those people because it could be like unintentional. We can do it. Like, I know for me, when I first got into my spiritual journey and astrology loving journey, you can talk to a lot of people that knew me personally, and I was definitely sharing it in a way to convince, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You should try it. But then I got checked on that of like, like you're being the same type of people that you don't like. You're trying to force. Just because you just discovered astrology, we love that for you, spirituality, love that for you. This is not like, but you're trying to force this. So I had to also check myself on that. So there's another thing. But what was I talking about? I forgot. I forgot. I was just like chattering away. But yeah, so I think I do like the idea of these lives though, because I like to kind of like freeball my thoughts and share what needs to come up at this moment. Taking a little breath because I'm a little I don't know, I just felt like I haven't been breathing intentionally for a while, and that helps to ground me in my energy. It's important. As a person who can be like I don't know, it helps me to just kind of calm myself down, because I can get excited and just overly talkative, or excited. But yeah, I want to do these lives more because I just want to free ball, and I want to be able to answer questions and give guidance to you guys. And I think I'll just post it as a replay and like share it with you guys. I mean, like like edit it and chop it up. Hold on, I've been sitting down for quite a long time, okay? So I'm gonna have to leave soon, but I'm just like, my body's stiff. I was like sitting for 2 hours in the astrology event. So I shouldn't probably be trying to be extra risky with my stretches while I'm on live, because if I moon you guys in any kind of way, then you guys are going to get, or this one person that's watching is going to get a free show. And that, you don't get that for free. I'm just kidding. You don't get that anywhere for a charge or free. But, yeah, so, yeah, I think it's time for me to stop talking, because I've been cleared out. But I guess, sorry, I do want to end off with, I was talking about how, going through changes in your life, and if you are kind of connected or really believe in a higher power or God or whatever, you can kind of feel like you're being punished, and you're just kind of like, but why? I've been doing everything right. It's almost like, why do the good people suffer the most, right? So it seems. The people who has like done so much and given so much, and know that that's what a lot of people are feeling right now. And right now though, know that I wish I can give you guys, I'm gonna do it. Don't get upset with me, or not, for the people who are not into, because I know this is more spiritual, but I randomly this morning opened up the Bible to I'm gonna say it wrong. It's Job, however you describe that. I feel like that there's Job. I don't know if it's Joe or Job or Joe. I don't know. This is how much I don't read the Bible. But I think it was like the book of Job, or I don't know, and 41. Okay. And let me just tell you that I was reading it, and it was kind of like, I guess the book of him pretty much expresses how he was on this journey of like, anyways, he had a lot of change and transitions happen in his life, and like people, his own people, like turned against him, but then he like, and then he pretty much like had nothing, and then he was like, but he never lost his faith. and I think he did kind of like explain like why, like, I've done all this, God, why, da, da, but God was testing his faith as far as like, this is the time for you to use the things that you've learned throughout your life, and for me to show you before I give you like your blessings of that kind of thing. And it's just testing him so he can actually use all the things that he's like that he's all the lessons, so he can apply them. And then he, anyways, long story short, he ended up like getting his blessings and blah blah blah. Okay, and thriving and living his best life. Go Joe or Job, whatever his name is. Okay. People who read the Bible, who watch this back, they don't. Hey. I was growing up in a household where my mom was Christian, but she, thank goodness, taught more of how to have a relationship with God rather than like Bible focused. And once again, she was Bible focused, but she never like forced it that like to me, because I've always like had a relationship with God. Like, I could talk to God easily, or I could pray, but I've never like been like super biblical texture. And just something, but anyways, yeah, so then let me tell you something. So I read that, I opened that up, I saw the Bible, I was like, okay. And also sometimes I chat GBT like Bible verses. I know that's so bad. I don't know, maybe it's not bad. I'm learning. Hello, like, you gotta use the times. So I meant to do that. I haven't done that yet. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna try to figure out my own interpretation from it, and then I'm gonna read whatever. So then later on today, I started cooking because I was getting prepared. I wanted to get my food and get prepared. All right, body, I'm gonna have to stop soon because my body's like telling me like, it's like, all right, you've been sitting too long, you need to stretch, take care of yourself. But sorry, I'm like so veering off. But okay, earlier, so yeah, I started cooking. Okay, in the beginning of my transition of everything that happened to me, or not to me, for me, perspective. I'm so corny, but honestly, you have to be fucking corny living this fucking life. Like, you gotta be lighthearted about stuff. What was I gonna say? Shoot. Oh, a family member sent me a link to a church sermon. Oh my gosh, I'm just being a sermon. Okay. I didn't listen to it at that time, but then I got like, once again, intuitive, like, down the connection. I heard like, you need to watch that. Now it's time to watch that. So I was like, okay, I put it on when I was cooking, and let me tell you what the Bible fucking verse was. I wish I could have this recorded. This is why I be wishing that I could have the camera on me all the time, because then people could see all the fucking weird shit. Not even weird at this point. It's not even weird. It's like, this is my life now, and anybody who, once again, knows will know. It was the fucking story of Job, or Joe, whatever the freak his name is, sorry. And I was like, I honestly forgot. I wrote it down in my journal. So I ran downstairs, and I was like, I know this is not the same verse that I literally like randomly, when I tell you this is how I read the Bible, I just like flip through, and I'm like, okay, God, what do I need to like, what message do I need? And then I open it, and then I like put my finger on. That's how I do it. Because that's just intuitively for me, like, and so that my hand stopped. And then the thing that the lady sent me, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I needed it. And of course I needed it because the story of the man, Joe, was right in connection with me as far as going through this transition and feeling like, God, I've done everything. Like why am I getting, like, I'm such a, like, and then and then realizing like his people, like the people that you trusted and da 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 did and da da, and then yeah, feeling like okay. So the message was, this is not your end. You are only in the middle. I just want to tell. Sorry, it took forever to explain that. Okay, for anybody who needs to hear this, this is not your end. You are only in the middle. Okay, and know that you are not meant to be asking yourself, how can I get out of this? You need to be telling yourself, what can I get out of this? Can I give it? Can I get an amen? I can't even talk. I can't take myself seriously. Can I get a hallelujah? Okay, I'm sorry. I had to like be funny and so weird because I just felt that. Because also this is where I don't mind. I love Christianity. Trust me, it brought me back to my childhood. But let me fucking tell you why it took the whole video was almost over before the man got to his message. I had to listen to about 10 songs singing, and I was good on the first song. I was like, this is nice, bring me back to my childhood, because I did used to go to church every now and then. And they black churches love they gospel. Okay, they get into it. I get it. I like it. Then people catch the Holy Ghost and all the things, which did used to scare me as a kid. But anyways, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so what was I saying? Okay, anyways, the point is that, okay, I just want to give you that. Just know that if you feel like this is it, this is not it, and this is the energy for everybody, the collective message for everybody is that you're only in the middle, and really try to utilize, like, what can you get out of this situation? Take all the lessons with you, apply it, learn it, soak into it. Forgiveness, like we talked about, that came up for you. So whoever that resonates with, that's your message. That's what you need to really focus on, healing, working on. So then by the end of this year, because the energy gonna be changed, like, just remember that you're only in the middle. All right, mic drop. I'm gonna go tend to my body because my body's screaming at me now, like, girl, you need to tend to yourself. And I need to take the last day of my 30 days of self-care and self-love. I mean, obviously I'm gonna continue doing this, but I haven't had a moment where I was the only person I needed to, like, focus on. And you would think that I would be, like, so happy about that, right? But I was just so deprived of, like, I need to help somebody. I need to not focus on myself. Oh, like, I'm so used to like tending to other people and their stuffs, and it was, like, hard. It was kind of, like, boring. I'm like, so just me? Like, can I don't know. It's funny. All right. Clearly, I love talking. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'm going to try to do this often because I feel like I really want to share. I mean, not share. I mean, share the guidance that people need to hear. Not for myself, but for you guys. So hopefully, we'll see how this goes. How consistent, or like when the flow of it. But just come with your questions and topics you want me to talk about. Anything that happened throughout your day, any weird connections, or not weird, but just like, let me know so we can dissect them, and all the things. So take what we talked about and apply it in your real life, because none of this is going to mean shit that I just said if you literally click off of this video, playback, live, whatever you're watching, and then you go and do the same fucking thing. Or even worse, you go and watch a whole nother video, and then you get in the loop of watching videos because you're running away from the work that you need to do. Okay? Because I want you to actually progress in life. Okay? And work on yourself and get to the joy and the happiness that you deserve. Okay? I'm gone. Peace out.